Gopīgeet, the Gopis' Song of Separation from the Srimad Bhagavatam, Chapter 10, Krishna Raas Panchadhyay. After Shri Krishna and the Gopis have met for the Raas dance and enjoyed freely, Krishna disappears. The Gopis search for their beloved everywhere, asking the trees, the creepers, and in their absorption conversed about him. Returning to the bank of Yamuna, the Gopis sat down together to sing of him, eagerly hoping that Krishna would come back. At the Lord's disappearance during the Raas dance, Raas Leela, Srimad Bhagavad Purana, also known as the Sanskrit poetry of this chapter, is extraordinarily beautiful. Each line, the first and the seventh syllables, begin with the same consonant as do the second syllables of all the 4 lines. This chapter relates how the Gopis, overwhelmed by the feeling of separation from Krishna, Viraaha, sat down on the banks of the Yamuna river and began praying for his appearance and singing his glories. The Gopis had dedicated their minds and very lives to Sri Krishna. They were besides themselves with the transcendental pain of separation, which is called Viraaha. Their crying, which appears like evidence of misery, actually shows their exalted state of transcendental bliss, Anand, known as Paramanand, spiritual bliss. Each of the Gopis begin addressing Lord Sri Krishna according to their individual mode of ecstasy, and they all prayed for his mercy. The pastimes of Krishna spontaneously arose in the minds of the Gopis, and they sang their song, the Gopi Geet, which relieves the agony of those suffering from the burning pain of separation from Bhagwan Shri Krishna, which bestows supreme auspiciousness. They sang, O Lord, O lover, O cheater, whenever we remember your smile, your loving glances, your pastimes, your boyhood friends, the Gops, we become extremely agitated, remembering your lotus face, adorned with those beautiful blackish hair, with the locks smeared with the dust of the cows. We become attached to you. When we remember how you followed the cows from the forest to another forest with your tender feet, we feel great pain. In their separation from Sri Krishna, the Gopis considers a single moment as an entire age. Even when they had previously seen him, they had found the blinking of their eyelids intolerable, as it blocked their vision of him for a fraction of a second. The ecstatic sentiments for Lord Sri Krishna that the Gopis expressed may appear like symptoms of lust, but in reality they are a manifestation of their pure desire to satisfy the Paramatma, Bhagwan Shri Krishna's spiritual senses. This is not even the slightest trace of lust in the moods of the Gopis. If one hears about the Lord's pastimes with faith, shraddha, one will become purified, and when the heart is completely cleansed by the absorption in Krishna Katha, one can attain Bhagwan Shri Krishna's pure devotional service. Gopya Uchyahu. The Gopis said, O beloved, your birth in the land of Vraj has made it exceedingly glorious. Indira, the goddess of fortune, always resides here. It is only for your sake that we, your devoted servants, maintain our lives. We have been searching everywhere for you, so please show yourself to us. O Lord of love, in beauty your glance excels the whole of the finest, most perfectly formed lotus within the autumn born. O bestower of benedictions, you are killing the maidservants who have given themselves to you freely without any price. Isn't this murder? O greatest of personalities, you have repeatedly saved us from all kinds of danger. You are actually not the son of the Gopi Yashoda, O friend, but rather the indwelling witness in the hearts of all embodied souls, because Lord Brahma prayed for you to come and protect the universe. You have now appeared in the Satput dynasty. O best of Rishnis, your lotus-like hand, which holds the hand of the goddess of fortune, grants fearlessness to those who approach your feet out of fear of material existence. O lover, please place that wish-fulfilling lotus hand on our heads. O you who destroy the suffering of vraj's people, O hero of all women, your smile shatters the false pride of your devotees. Please, dear friend, accept us as your maidservants and show us your beautiful lotus face. Your lotus feet destroy the past sins of all embodied souls who surrender to them. Those feet follow after the cows in the pastures and are the eternal abode of the goddess of fortune. Since you once put those feet on the hooves of the great serpent Kalya, please place them upon our breasts and tear away the lust in our hearts. O lotus-eyed one, your sweet voice and your charming words, which attract the minds of the intelligent, are bewildering us more and more. Our dear one, our hero, please revive your maidservants with the nectar of your lips. The nectar of your words and the descriptions of your activities are the life and soul of those suffering in this material world. These narrations, transmitted by learned sages, eradicate one's sinful reactions and bestow good fortune upon whoever hears them. These narrations are broadcast all over the world and are filled with spiritual power. Certainly, those who spread the message your smiles, your sweet loving glances, the intimate pastimes and confidential talks we enjoyed with you, all these are auspicious to meditate upon, and they touch our hearts. But at the same time, O deceiver, they are very much agitating our minds. Dear Master, dear lover, when you leave the cowherd village to herd the cows, our minds are disturbed with the thought that your feet, more beautiful than a lotus, will be pricked by the spiked husks of grain and the rough grass and plants. At the end of the day, you repeatedly show us your lotus face covered with dark blue locks of hair and thickly powdered with dust. O hero, you arouse lusty desires in our mind. Your lotus feet, which are worshipped by Lord Brahma, fulfill the desire of all who bow down to them. They are the ornaments of earth. They give the highest satisfaction, and in times of any danger, they are appropriate objects of meditation. O lover, O destroyer of anxiety, please put those lotus feet on our chest. Hero, kindly distribute to us the nectar of your lips, which enhances conjugal pleasure and vanishes grief. The nectar is thoroughly relished by a vibrating flute and makes people forget any other attachment. When you go off to the forest during the day, a tiny fraction of a second becomes like a millennium because we cannot see you. And even when we eagerly look upon your beautiful face, so lovely with its adornments of the curly locks, our pleasure is hindered by our eyelids, which were fashioned by the foolish Creator. Dear Achyuta, you know very well why we have come here. Who but a cheater like you would abandon young women who come to see him in the middle of the night, enchanted by the loud sound of his flute, the song, the flute, just to see you? We have completely rejected our husbands, children, ancestors, brothers, and other relatives. Our minds are repeatedly bewildered as we think of the intimate conversations we had with you in secret, feeling the rise of the lust in our hearts, and remember your smiling face, your loving glances, and your broad chest, the resting place for the goddess of fortune. We experience the most severe hankering for you. O beloved, your all-auspicious appearance vanquishes the distress of those living in Vraja's forests. Our minds long for your association. Please give to us just a bit of that medicine which counteracts the disease in your devotees' hearts.
सुजात चरणां गुरुहं स्तनेषु पीताः सनैः प्रियदधि महिकर्कशेषु तेनाटवीमटसि तद्व्यथतेन किंसि कूर्पां bhavadayushamnah.
O dearly beloved, your lotus feet are so soft that we place them gently on our breasts, fearing that your feet will be hurt. Our life rests only in you. Our minds, therefore, are filled with anxiety that your tender feet might be wounded by pebbles as you roam about on the forest path.
Bhagavate Mahapurane Paramhansyaam Sanhitayam Dashamaskandhe Purvardhe Raas Kridayam Gopi Geetam Namayikatrishodhyayah Sri Krishnarpanamastu. Sri Shubhavach Iti Gopyah Pragayantyah Pranapantyasya Chitradha Rurudu Swaswaram Rajan Krishna Darshana Lalasa Tasamavirbhutchori Smayamana Mukhambujaha Pitambardharah Shragvi Sakshan Manmatha Manmatha.
Thus ends the discourse, the Gopis' song, at the Lord's disappearance during the raas dance in the first half of the book 10 of the great and the glorious Srimad Bhagavad Purana, otherwise also known as Paramahans Samhita. Those who are familiar with the art of chanting Sanskrit verses will be able to appreciate the especially exquisite Sanskrit poetry of this chapter. The poetic meter of the verses is extraordinarily beautiful. Each line, the first and the seventh syllables, begin with the same consonant. So do the second syllables of all the 4 lines. This chapter relates how the Gopis, overwhelmed by the feelings of separation from Krishna, thus ends the discourse entitled The Gopis' Song